been a long and winding road, not to this point, but here I am. And I won't stop until my soul can't take no more, until I drop in, that's my plan. But until then, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding. I'm shooting for the stars and my aim game is nice, so what I'm saying, it's enjoy the ride. This ain't no overstatement, oh we so overloaded, we on some legendary, oh yeah we overnose it, we on that brink of greatness, so close I fucking taste it, premature celebration, so let's get fucking wasted.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Good evening.
Should I run that intro back one more time? Should I run it back one more time? Give him a second to get on in here. You know, give him one more time. We're gonna get y'all one more time.
It's been a long and winding road, not to this point, but here I am. And I won't stop until my soul can't take no more, until I drop in, that's my plan. But until then, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding. I'm shooting for the stars and my aim game is nice, so what I'm saying, it's enjoy the ride. This ain't no overstatement, oh we so overloaded, we on some legendary, oh yeah we overnose it, we on that brink of greatness, so close I fucking taste it, premature celebration, so let's get fucking wasted.
Oh, so let's get
feel like
wasted
partying right now.
I feel good. How y'all feeling?
Download yet, sir?
Listen, I can send it to y'all.
Yes, do that. I was asking you to download.
Nah,
because I bump it at least 3 times a day.
I forgot what we talked about. I was waiting on y'all to do that so I can revamp it.
Nah, they just talking about the song.
Oh yeah, no, I can just send y'all that I can put it in the squad chat.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I be over here grooving.
I'm like, cool. I mean, I thought tonight's topic is good and we need to talk about it, but I'm like, it's party time. And y'all listen, I'm gonna have to put y'all on mute because I'm about to turn my phone on and watch the pre-festivities for tomorrow so I can see these HBCU bands.
Hey, you better record that.
I gotta pull it up and find out where it's playing at. You know, are they playing on TV? I got the schedule. I was just gonna pull it from my phone because it was live, but I'm sure I can find it on cable and record it.
Look at you, Kat, looking all musically and shit.
Musically.
You know, girl, even though I'm not musicy, you know, I love me some HBCU bands.
Okay, you be in there with them when they be in
there.
there.
I might not be knowing what I be
cute and shit. Okay, then I see you. But listen, hey everybody! Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or joining us on JQLM Radio, thank you for hopping in and taking this ride with us this evening. Listen, we got a dope show ahead of us, okay? Let me tell you, I'm excited for the topic first and foremost. I think it's been one of the topics that has really been pressing for me. I've been watching quite a few different things and paying attention to a lot of the topics I've seen on Facebook and a bunch of other different places in regards to male emotions, sensitivity, all those kind of things, and even encountering some of those type of scenarios and situations myself and trying to figure out how to navigate through those with my brothers, with my friends, with people that I know when it comes to dating. So there are a lot of different ways that, you know, as a Black woman trying to figure out how to navigate dealing with a man and his emotions or the lack thereof, or the ones that he has, but not really certain of how to express them or how to verbalize them. So all of the stuff I've been watching lately has brought me to like, okay, let's put it out here and let's talk about it. I've talked with Trosh on some things. I've talked with my girls on things. And sometimes I realize like talking to my girls about man stuff ain't the move. So just been paying attention to a lot of different things. So tonight, guess what? Y'all get to see a little something on the screen. Tonight is going to be a lot different because I feel like this topic is something that we really need to make more of an open discussion instead of it being like Black women always telling Black men how they should feel or how they should operate or how they should move or what they should do. That this is more of a conversation of us listening. So for a lot of the Black men, I want the Black men to give us their thoughts and their feelings in the comment section. But also, we're going to hop on over real quick to a clip that I found of a video that I thought was very, very interesting. It's actually from Jay-Z's. It's a short film, Jay-Z's 444 album. It's a short film that they created. I've been looking where I can find the rest of it, but I really don't know the name of it. I actually found it on Facebook and thought it was dope. So I'm going to slide on over, and it's about 4 minutes. Like the first part is about 4 minutes. So I want y'all to really watch it, pay attention, and gather what you can gather from this initial part. And then we're going to talk about the first part. Then we're going to talk and get in depth, and then we're going to watch the second part. Because I really think this is where the rubber meets the road. And then where we can start taking what's being said and dissecting it a little bit and getting some more information about the Black men that are in our lives and things like that, how to care for them and love on them and stuff like that. So here we go. Okay. Soon as I can stop scrolling and hit it.
No, this is everybody wants to be needed on some level.
I feel like women often feel like you're a man, and it's just like, okay, so does that mean we don't have emotions?
You know, people see your family, they see Instagram pictures of you smiling and happy and stuff all the time. They don't think you got real issues. You know what I mean? I don't think you have to sleep back to back, like climbing in the bed and you like look over there and you got that back roll though. That's the worst feeling in the world.
What I thought was when I met my dad was, oh, I'm free to love now. But it's like, okay, yeah, but how are you going to do it? You want to do it. I get it. And now how are you going to do it? You've never done this before. No one informs you how to do this. You don't even have the tools to do it. Oh, no, but I'm going to do it because I'm ready. And that's why I say, you mature faster than me. I wasn't ready. Like all these things are, again, this is my real life. You know, like, I just ran into this place and we built this big, beautiful mansion of a relationship. You know what I mean? That wasn't totally built on the 100% truth. And then it started cracking, you know, and then things start happening that the public can see. You know what I'm saying? And then we had to go to a point and be like, okay, tear this down. And let's start from the beginning. And it's hard. Remember, we just talked about me. I'm from Marcy Projects and we shot at all kind of. Nothing's harder than this. By far, I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And most people, most humans, us, you know what I mean? We're not willing to put ourselves through that. Most people give up.
I don't know. I had to learn how to treat somebody else as good as I wanted to treat myself, because growing up, like in our environments where we grew up, I grew up in a household like the only person you know treat good is your mom. My dad was dead, my sister. You in the neighborhood, cutthroat neighborhoods, people killing, all types of stuff, cops sending people to jail for no reason. You do for yourself before you do for anybody. So, you know, as time went by, I had to learn how to care for somebody as much as I care for myself.
Kids that was raised the same way I was raised, with that hardness, I would break that down by telling them to think of the most excruciating thing you can feel, you know, as far as a loss. How would that make you feel? Recognize that emotion, you know, prior to it, you know, even happening. Now, it's a key word in this. It's perspective. Take that same perspective of how you feel to what the next person may or may not be going through. And that's going to bring compassion, and that's going to bring a bond, a connection, a sense of, a feeling of emotion, you know. So, concept all the time, mom say, put yourself in someone else's shoes. You know, your situation can't be as worse as the next man standing next to you.
Yeah, I'm a real nigga. I'm a real person, like, you know, but you're doing a lot of bullshit that's really not real. But and the side of that is all of the real shit, like how we grew up, all the guys told us all of the wrong shit.
You know, I'm talking about like real, like this wisdom that they were giving us, but it was their level of conscience. They knew that street stuff impeccably. This invisible wisdom that you couldn't see in a different space, but they just didn't know if it was like, you know, like a superhero, you know, like their super strength was on 10, but their emotional wisdom was on zero.
Charlie Mack. All my bad ideas about women, I got from Charlie Mack. He got ideas about everything. And he was like, man, I'm telling you. This is how a date gotta go. You take them out, right? You take them out. And the first thing you do is you take them to, you know, a restaurant. You get like an appetizer at one spot. Get the appetizer at one spot, right? Then you go to another spot for the main course. Then you go to another spot for the dessert, right? Like, so you move from one spot to the next. So you take them out, because they ain't never seen no shit like that. Then, you know, when you go out in front of the place, you know, you like start a fight and you just knock somebody the fuck out. If you knock somebody the fuck out in front of a woman, she gonna love you forever. I'm telling you, you can do it or not, but that's how you get them.
I think a relationship, either you're learning or you're not learning. And I think relationships fail when you stop learning, when you stop being able to learn together. You know, I think that's when they really fall apart.
I do think, like, the relationship between black men and black women is complicated by all these other things, you know, things that, you know, just trying to talk about a little bit, like, complicated by a black man's historical inability to protect it. Complicated by black men's seeming unwillingness to be able to commit to raising their families.
I hear that I'm self-absorbed.
So,
I wanted to yeah, we're gonna have to find that.
Oh, we're gonna get to part two. So with that initial part, there is so much to unpack there and so much to pay attention to in that, just within that first 5 minutes. In that first 5 minutes of that, there was so much that was said. There was so much that that as we watched, we saw black men like kind of putting themselves all on the line. So what did you all gather from what you saw in that clip?
I mean, I'm here for it. Like, that just makes my heart so happy. Even though we were having this topic, I had a conversation with a guy friend of mine who's 51. So just to even be able to get a different insight from an older man on how all this stuff works, like, I can't wait to hear what the dude's got to say. I went and got a paper and pen and everything.
Listen, it's a different kind of night because I got the laptop right here in front of me. I usually just do not have the laptop, but right today, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm here for it. Like, I got notes. I got my Microsoft Word open because I'm ready for the information and the feedback from the fellas, because that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for information from women. That's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for. Now, we can absolutely positively give our information and our feedback and our input on the topic and the experiences that we've had, but we're not looking for information from women on how to deal with men's emotions. We are looking from information from men on how to deal with them and their emotions so that we as women can be better, or how we as women can help men to be better about expressing their emotions and feelings and stuff. So Trosh, what did you gather from that? Or like, what is your input on that?
So yeah, like as far as if you getting advice from somebody else, like on how to be a man or whatever, and they teaching you like the wrong stuff to do because they did it the wrong way or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work for real. If you ain't had no guidance like that to show you the right way, you're gonna have to learn on your own. You gotta learn on the fly, you know what I'm saying? And then like the way everything built now, like the way the world is or whatever, like if you show any kind of weakness out here, like somebody's gonna pounce on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give y'all an example. And I seen a video. It was going viral on Facebook or whatever. The dude was in the kitchen. He was washing the chicken. His girlfriend told him to wash the chicken or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He had put the like dishwashing liquid on the shit because he really know how to wash chicken. She clowned this fucking dude. You know what I'm saying? Like she treated this man, like talked to him like he was a little fucking kid. Like you don't talk to no man like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't know. And he probably didn't know because he wasn't taught. But I'm talking about the relationship aspect of that. That's your fucking guy. This the dude who you're in a relationship with. How you gonna talk down to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so with being that, of course you're gonna have to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make sure you can shake all that shit off when somebody talks to you crazy like that. You know, like, but some people not built like that. And shit just get out of hand sometimes. So I mean, it's just like the way it is, man. You're forced to be tough. You're forced to be tough. You can't show no weakness out here.
Now,
so my question is, because you mentioned when you first started talking that, you know, if somebody's teaching you the wrong way to be a man, you just have to learn on the fly. How do you know, or what signs are present to let you know that the things you were taught were wrong and that you need to do something different? When does that knowledge,
the reactions that you're getting from the situations that you've been put in, you know what I'm saying? Like if you were put in a situation and you handle it a certain way and it came back like, oh shit, I ain't do that right. You know what I'm saying? Like you learn as you go. It's just like with anything. You learn as you go.
So I was going to ask, there are levels to this transparency. So like the situation you just gave with the guy and the chicken, right? Mm-hmm. Do men have levels of transparency? Like I understand his girl was completely wrong for that, but there's one level of intimacy and transparency when you talk about intimate relationships. There's friendships and relationships, and there's situationships. Like, do men have different levels to that, or for yourself, do you have different levels of that?
Absolutely. No, that was just one aspect I was speaking on at that moment or whatever. But it's totally different viewpoints on different type of situations. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the relationship aspect or whatever. But I can flip it to let's just say friendship or whatever, you know. If it's the same basis though. Like if you feel like you can't trust that person, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna open up and be transparent with them like you would with somebody who you feel like you can trust, you know. It just go by like case by case.
Right. So is it easier to cry the more you have intimacy there, like for men, or is it still like a?
I don't think it's easy to cry at all. I don't think it's easy to cry at all. Period. And then.
I'm just laughing. I'm not laughing at the fact that Tro said. I'm laughing because, like, I'm not laughing at the thought of that. I'm laughing at because of who said it. Like, I don't think it's easy to cry at all.
Nah, for real. Like,
if you like interacted with Tro, like, you would understand why that's hilarious to me.
and then it's like this right here is this like. Is my situation, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta hold so much in and shit all the time, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't even want to talk about this, man. I told Tiffany, y'all, like, this ain't a good night. I said, this ain't a good night, man.
You told who?
Listen, he also listen. Let it slide tonight, baby.
Wait, look, that's why I'm like, that's how you know he in it. That's how you know he in it.
I said Leo, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm over here sending love and light right where you are to your heart.
It's okay. It's okay.
I made mistakes a lot of times like that where I don't be able to express myself or whatever, and then shit just get too like it stack, and then that's when I pop. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like this. I don't like this topic for real because I can relate too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like
my question then is, where do men go to heal?
You know what? You try, but you don't know. You don't even know you're broken. You don't even know you're broken until you broke. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the answer for a lot of men. Like, that some of them don't know if they're broken, or some do, but they don't know to what extent. Mm-hmm. So, like, this is like that in itself, that honesty and that level of honesty, like on this platform, is like, friend, I love you. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Like it's, I mean, that's really what it is, because a lot of times when it comes to men even expressing themselves and saying, you know, hey, I'm broken. You know, we as women, a lot of women disregard male emotions as if they are like a stray cat or something. Like the disregard for male emotions and male sensitivity or their feelings overall. It is one of those things that a lot of people just try to put off like it's not important. But we want men to be emotionally available to us. And we want them to pay attention to every aspect of us and everything that we need and cater to us in every way possible. But then when it comes to their feelings and their emotions and what they need, it's like, boy, bad. Boy, bad. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. I don't want to hear nothing about you listening. None of that. So it's like we disregard it. Some women disregard it as though it's not important. And so then when men do encounter women who are like, what's wrong? You okay? How you doing? What you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you, you know, and then they try to embrace them and have them to express themselves or to unload. They like, bitch, what are you doing? Who are you? I'm not.
Yeah, you trying to make me soft. No, you know what I'm saying? You ain't slick. You not slick.
Yeah. So okay. So just gonna go to some of the comments. Actually, my brother said that a lot of times they go to their boys. Like that's where they go. They go to their homies when it's time to have those conversations and things like that.
But I have a question, Leo, to your brother's comment. Do men even really go to their boys with their real, true, raw emotions? Because I feel like, and Trosh, I mean, you're the only guy on here right now. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong or chime in. But I just feel like even when guys go talk to their boys, they're still not letting that guard down and being transparent. You know, they may tell them something that happened with their girl or whoever, wife, fiance, girlfriend, situationship, but they still try to play hard and downplay it and not really say, man, I'm really fucked up. Like my feelings are hurt. I'm sad. I'm getting depressed. But they be like, man, F that B, or you know what, I ain't thinking about her. I'm just gonna call my other host. I just feel like they still play hard when they talk to their boys. I don't feel like they still open up.
That's true. That's true. Because like you gotta have a certain kind of friends around you. You know what I'm saying? Like some of your friends they're not gonna like try and help you with the situation. They're gonna say some shit that's make you more tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that don't work when you trying to grow. You know what I'm saying? That don't help. You're gonna keep making mistakes, and you're gonna make even harder mistakes because they, you know what I'm saying, ain't you going to them for advice, and the advice they giving you is some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to go through the comments here. We got a lot of comments popping out. So thank you all for being here and joining us tonight. Thank you to Big Boy 7717 for hitting us up on YouTube and tuning in. He said that clip was dope and he really needed to see that. Good deal. Men need respect. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that.
They definitely do.
So my brother said that he agrees with Chose. Exactly. Not just any friend. Got to be somebody that knows you in that way. Ashley said there is a certain way, kind of touching back on what Chose said about the situation with the young lady and her boyfriend, that there is a certain way that you talk to your man. There should be a level of respect in your voice. Iris said, in learning, do you open up and say, I don't know, and release the pride and grow? That's a good question. That's a really good question.
So I'm going to just speak on my experience. So like before when I was speaking about you don't know when you're broken, like you don't know you're broken until you break, right? And after you break, your future experiences, like you kind of get it in your head like, oh shit, this the same shit that I was feeling last time. You know what I'm saying? So now you can acknowledge it because you experienced it already. You know what I'm saying? So that helped you pull yourself back and don't make that mistake again after experiencing it. But it's hard because you got to go through it, man. You got to go through it.
I dig it. So let's see. Savannah said, why do you feel like you have to hold everything in?
Because, man, you can't be taken advantage of. I'm telling you, these streets is cold in every aspect. It don't matter if you're talking about relationships, jobs, just anything you do. Like, somebody's going to try and take advantage of weakness in some aspect, for real.
But you would have to have somebody, though. Like, my question is, do men have somebody that they feel safe enough with to be able to cry, be vulnerable, and be transparent? Because me being in this healing world, you attract a lot of men who, there's a lot of work that has to be done. You attract it. And my guy friend I spoke with today, his response to me was, well, I go to my lady because my woman should be my best friend and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm cool and I'm with that. But your woman, you can't be toxic and continue to be aware of your toxicity and keep pouring it on me. When do you say, you know what, I need to go get help? And his response to me was, well, then would you be okay if another woman came up and tried to be my emotional piece because you're not willing to be my emotional piece? And my brain is saying, it's not that I don't want to be your emotional piece. But is it my sole responsibility to be your healer? No, I'm not. So I guess that's what I'm asking in a sense. Is there levels to, do you two have anybody that you have in your life that you feel like you can cry to and be vulnerable to? And you know what I'm saying? Outside of everybody else. Does that make sense?
You can go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to touch back on what she was saying about, being his, healer. That's a lot of pressure for you to be the one. That's a lot of fucking pressure for you to have on your shoulders and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, do I have someone? Yeah, I do. That, you know what I'm saying, that'll listen and shit like that. I got a few pieces now, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't used to talk to my OG like that, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as me, even though I'm not the oldest, I feel like I'm the oldest as far as me and my siblings and shit like that. So it's like I'm always the one that's being the toughest and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I used to hold all my shit in. I never used to talk to my mama and shit like that. Yeah, so.
So kind of touching on what Bree said, Savannah said that shit is draining. Okay. But I'm going to piggyback off of that comment because we could see that as draining, you know, when we do those things and we are trying to be that to somebody and we are looking to be that person's best friend and all of that kind of shit. But do we not think that it's draining for them in the same way that it's draining for us? And I say that to say, because a lot of times women will come home, we will take our shoes off and we will unload. Like, soon as we get through the door, we will like fucking unload. And this bitch and this, and we take it, you know, we take off our shoes, our clothes, and we just unloading. And we don't even stop to ask, like, hey, how are ya? How you doing? How was your day? So a lot of times we come in and we just start unloading, not realizing that the shit that we do or the way that we interact is draining to them as well. And yeah, I'm probably gonna get on a lot of women's nerves tonight because I'm pretty much going to see it from the other side, and I'm going to keep asking those questions because tonight it ain't about us, it's about y'all. So, it can be draining for a woman to take on all of that. It's draining for anybody to take on all of that, to take on all of somebody else's stuff, and it's like, well, shit, I ain't know I signed up to be, you know, Iyanla. You know, I didn't come to fix your life, honey. Like, I came to be a part of it, but I didn't come in to fix it. So at what point, like, do you say to your mate, hey, baby, listen, I love you. You know that, right? But you need to go see somebody else about this. You need to go see somebody else about this. I love you truly and deeply and honestly, and I want to see you heal in this in those areas. And I'm here with you through it, but I can't take all of that on plus all of my shit too. Because it's still some healing I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I have a question for Bree in the scenario that she just gave. And I guess it's a question for Bree and a question for Mo and kind of Troach, because I feel like Bree, and I don't know how your response to that statement went. You know, you made the comment, what happens when, you know, your guy or whoever decides that he needs to talk to possibly another woman about his feelings and emotions, et cetera, et cetera. My first part of the question is, how do you feel about that? And then the second part of the question is, or it's not really a question, it's a statement. I feel like sometimes as women, when we do that, we kind of setting our guys up to be in a worse situation because we're saying, okay, you're giving all of this to us. I need you to go talk to somebody else. And if they happen to be able to confide or talk to another woman, then we have a problem with that, because now it's like, how dare you go tell all our business to this woman, and now you emotionally cheating, and then that becomes a whole nother issue and something else that we just dumped on their plate and now they have to deal with. So it's like, yo, don't give it all to us. Go give it to somebody else. If that somebody else happens to be somebody of the opposite sex, then that in turn turns into a bigger problem. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, we're setting them up to fail and to be more emotionally drained in the middle of the shit that they got to deal with.
I feel that too. I feel that.
Okay with it, but a lot of women have that issue. They like, yeah, no, you're not going to go tell our business or your business to somebody of the opposite sex. Most women.
That's where I think I think that's where everybody has to be willing to get healed in this situation, because that may show up. No, we're not doing that. That may show up in a way, it may be needed so that you can heal that part of you that is jealous that your man is going to get what he needs, right? And so what I said to him was, well, what is wrong with therapy? So I see one of the comments in here is, do men believe in therapy? That's what I asked him. Like, his thing was, nah, you don't really need to go to therapy because that's why you got your woman. Your woman should be there for you. And I'm already like, oh, bro. Like, that is not my responsibility. I'm here to love you and encourage you and support you, but I'm not here to birth you. You got to birth me just like I got to birth me. So I think that's a great opportunity for everybody to address their shit. Which one do you want? Do you want a healed man or dysfunctional?
I feel where you kind of coming from, though, Kat, as far as that aspect of it, because it's like, if I could talk to you, I would fucking talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you feel like I can't talk to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think when it comes down to that kind of situation and somebody actually giving additional feedback. Now, if a man just like, how would you feel if I asked another woman first of all, Chief, don't come at me on that because now you open another can of worms and now we're going to have a whole nother set of problems that you're going to really need to go to therapy for healing for. Physical therapy, not mental health therapy. Because it's don't. Okay, so bringing that kind of stuff to the table is like, I mean, is that something that you are already doing? Is that something that you feel is going to be beneficial to you? And how would I feel if you were to talk to another woman about it? Listen, okay, is it a friend? Is it a professional? Like, who is this other woman that you planning to talk to about it? Because if you just trying to be an ass and throw it out there in that one, then we gonna have a problem. But at the same time, I want you to talk to somebody. If it's a friend, okay, talk to your friend. But I prefer it to be a professional because your friend probably ain't got as much advice as I got, or nobody else that's in your circle. They don't have any techniques or coping mechanisms or anything that will help you through this journey. So you want to be a dick or you want to get healed? Like, which way? Like, how do you really want this to play out for yourself? So I think with that kind of question, I think that is more of a trigger or somebody trying to trigger you because now you're not willing to be their all, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I want to hear what Moan has to say.
Well, I just jumped in. Hi, guys.
What's good with you, buddy?
What's going on? I think, well, it depends on, as far as like going back to what was stated a second ago regarding does men have like some of their partners that they can go to? And personally speaking, I have, well, actually just this morning, my best friend, he's 38, he called me venting this morning and damn near crying. You know, so you have to have guys in your circle that care enough about you and love you. I'm not even talking about women, but just guys that care enough about you and love you to the point to where they want to see you exceed. You want to see you excel. So, but it's that macho shit out here, man. So much of that macho shit out here that it's not funny. We was born. That's I don't know what you guys touched on before I came on, but that's how we were raised as men. You shouldn't be crying and man up, wipe your tears and the whole nine when you express yourself. And I didn't learn any better until I became a parent. I became a parent of a son. So it's very important. It's imperative to have guys in your circle as men, especially as black men, that you can call and talk to without any judgment or anything like that. Now, as far as going to see a man in a relationship going to see another woman or talk to another woman, if this is just my opinion, if you can't express to your partner, express to your mate that you're going to seek therapy and it's a woman and she can't accept that, then like I believe was it Bree, one of you guys, or was it Tip, one of you guys said that then she probably needs to go seek therapy as well because she has underlying issues.
She probably does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the one thing, like, as we as a culture need to be okay with. We need to be okay with seeking therapy. We need to be okay with not taking on all of our burdens and thinking that carrying all of that shit and walking around like, is okay. It's not. You are not okay, and it's okay to say that you're not okay.
That you're not okay. Exactly.
I had to learn that because that was my mantra. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Until one day that shit just overloaded and exploded, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened to me? What happened?" And when all of that stuff that you've been suppressing just boils over and comes to the top, now it's like, ooh, it's in your face. Like, it's in your face. You cannot avoid it. You have to deal with it. So once I boiled over, it was like therapy became just as important as my haircut money. You know, it was like, okay, nope, no haircut this week. I'm going to therapy. Like that became part of my budget. So,
and it's one of those things where triggers show up. Triggers show up for you to deal with them. We're just used to triggers showing up, and we try to hide them. We do everything to avoid the trigger, but the trigger shows up because it needs to be addressed. So it's just everybody has to be able to address their triggers, because I can be toxic as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, damn, I know I can.
I know that my mouth used to be horrible. I talked to my ex-husband. My mouth used to be horrible. I knew how to build you up, but I knew how to crush you at the same time. But that came with my growth. Like, I realized at one point as I got older, you can't keep talking to people like you're talking to them. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not how you do that. But again, I committed myself to therapy for 2 whole fucking years. Like, and we went in specifically with, this is an issue, this is an issue, and this is an issue. Help me walk through these, so that I could begin to create a new pattern, because you don't know what you don't know until you realize you don't know it. But my thing is, what do men do with what they now know? What do you do with it? When you now realize that I got some toxic shit going on right here, what is the next step?
Yep.
I have a question for Mom. So you said that you are raising a black son. I am just curious as to a little bit of your parenting with your black son. Do you hug him? Do you allow him to hug you? Do you kiss him? Do you guys share affirmations? Do you tell him you love him? Because I know a lot of older black men didn't experience those things when they were little, because they were raised in the era of, like I think Post has said, and several people have said, men don't show weakness, men don't cry, we're not gonna make you soft, you gotta be hard, and that's it. And a lot of older men don't understand how to love their children, especially their boys, their young men, correctly, because like I can't tell you I love you, I can't hug you, I can't do I'm just curious as to how what are some of your parenting skills, and how does that relate to you and your?
Well, I don't have any parenting skills now because my son about to be 21 next month. I've been out the ghetto for the past 3 years. You feel me? Nah.
48. You know.
But nah. I had to learn. Like, it was an adjustment for me because my son came to live with me when I was 24. And he was 1, so it was an adjustment. I had to learn how to be, like, everything leading up to that. I didn't know how to be a man. I thought I was a man, but I didn't know how to be a man. I had to learn how to be a man. I had to break myself down and listen to women in my family, namely my mom, and learn how to be a man, and especially a black man, because like you said, we have to be so hard 24/7, 365 to show our strength, because we've been beaten down so much, so often. But I had to learn that behind these 4 walls where we live, you can be as vulnerable as you want to be, and you have someone to talk to. You have an outlet. So that was a learning process for me, and I had, like I said, it has to be broken down. So to this day, shoot me a text like, "Love you, Dad," out the blue. You know, now this man is grown now. He's doing something that I've never done, you know, and I allowed him to have a safe place in order to do so, in order to blossom and grow. And that's honestly, I'm proud of my son, but that's one of the most proudest moments I've ever had outside of me doing what I'm supposed to do, because he can honestly come to me with anything. As weird as it may be, he can honestly come to me with anything, whereas I didn't have that. So yeah, that's how I parent. And that's how I've suggested several times to my close friends as well as guys, period. Like, to be honest, I got homeboys older than me, just as old as me and older than me, calling me regarding parenting because I've allowed myself to show as vulnerable. Therefore, they're comfortable with coming to me about, different issues and shit like that. So yeah, hugs, I love yous, and like dog, like to this day, he'll run and jump up on my back. And but that's the way it's supposed to be because, like I said, that's something I've never seen before, and it's something so many of us has never seen before. So yeah, that's an absolute must, in my opinion.
Thank you for that. That's good.
We had a good comment from.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we had a good comment from Marcel. He said, "I raised my son completely different than I was raised. I saw how hurtful them old school ways was when he was about 3 years old."
My man.
And that's when you make the changes, like when you see those differences and how hurtful those ways could be.
Yep.
Go ahead, Charles.
You go back to saying, "Oh, my bad, bro. Go ahead."
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you go back to saying, "Damn, I wish I had such and such." I'm not gonna make those same errors, make those same mistakes with mine. I'm gonna give him everything I wish I had, and then we're gonna see how that goes. Because you know how it made you feel when you were coming up and you didn't have that. Nah, my bad, bro. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna touch on like it's you got to be mindful nowadays because it's like a fine line. Like, well, not even be mindful, but like, society try to tell you such and such or whatever. Like, now he's too soft. You know what I'm saying? So, but you still got to raise him as a man. You know what I'm saying? But you want him to have that type of vulnerability, but he still got to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's hard. It's hard, man.
It's extremely hard, especially for us. Because like you just said, and that's a great point, bro. Like you just said, because in my mind, especially being younger, I would think like I don't want dogs to be too soft. I don't want somebody to try to get down on them. I don't want anyone to take advantage of them, the whole nine. So I have to learn within myself a balance, a happy medium to where I can let him know, hey, it's cool to come to me with whatever outside of going to your mom, your granny, your nana, your aunties. It's cool to come to a man with whatever, but at the same time, if we gotta, know what I'm saying, get out here in these streets, then that's what we have to do as men. Yep. So yeah, you have to find a balance. I agree with you, bro.
I think that's one of the toxic things that society puts out there is that men, once their sons reach a certain age, that they shouldn't kiss on their sons or hug on their sons and all that kind of stuff. Like, but you're okay with your sons talking about sex at a certain age and talking about all of this adult things, but you don't want them to talk about love or, hugging and you don't want to love on them and hug them and give them that type of emotional stability and development that they actually need. But it's okay for them to be out here humping. It's okay for them to be out here, tackling on or taking on adult situations.
Lifestyle situations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want them to talk about their feelings. You don't want them to talk about their emotions. You don't want, and I feel like that has become one of the things that most Black men attach themselves to, is their sexual prowess, instead of attaching themselves to who they are and understanding who they are and being able to express their emotions in the right way. Like, instead of being able to express their emotions or their feelings, they could tell you under the sun all the dirty things and nasty things they want to do, but they can't tell you how they feel. They can't tell you, what's on their mind and things like that. And so I think a lot of it is because that they weren't able to, they weren't taught how to. And so the one thing that they were able to tap into was their sexual prowess and be able to express that more so than being able to express their emotions and feelings. And so we have a lot of men who have cut themselves off from their emotions and not allowing themselves to even tap into that part because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't know how to be hurt or vulnerable. I mean, they don't know how to be vulnerable to the people that are expecting or wanting them to be that way. So I don't know. I think it's just a lot of healing that needs to be done on both ends. Marcel said, you still got men out here denying that they even have feelings. That's macho bullshit. Very true.
Stupid.
So,
I know I got feelings because my shit get hurt. Fuck you.
You feel me? You feel me?
I'm aching in my chest.
That's funny. But I definitely know that the next part of the clip is going to is just as good as the first part. So we're gonna do the second part shortly. We're gonna do it after. We're gonna do our commercial break now. We're gonna take a commercial break. We're gonna come back, talk a little more, and then we're gonna do the second part of the clip, because this is really something that I feel like is really important for us as a community and as a whole to gain an understanding of one another, instead of it just being Black women saying this is what men need to be, and men saying that this is what a woman needs to be. And then we got this back and forth, and we got this battle, and nobody's listening. Nobody's coming to a common ground. Nobody's looking to learn or understand. We just telling each other what it needs to be or how you need to be, instead of saying, hey, help me to be, because some of us don't know how to be that. So at some point we got to say, hey, help me to be, help me to reach this place. And then even just because they're asking you to help, that don't mean you got to be the help. That means, hey, I can help you, but I'm going to turn you right into this therapist and let her go on and let her be the help. So we're going to get ready to take our commercial break real quick. We thank everybody for being here that's listening in, that's tuning in from JQLM Radio, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook. We thank you for being here. Make sure as you're watching, you share the video and make sure you chime in, because we definitely don't want this conversation to be completely from our perspective. We want your input. We want to know how to be better for you. And we got guys on here that are giving us information, but we definitely don't want it to be limited to just their experiences either. So we want you guys to share with us as much as possible. And so we're going to get ready for our commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have part 2 of the 444 clip. And then we're going to do a little more talking. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Are you or someone you know accomplishing some amazing things in the community, or is just an inspiration to many? Apply to be featured on the cover of Ego Magazine, a bi-monthly digital interactive publication under the Ego Entertainment Network brand. Apply to be featured in other sections such as education, business, media and entertainment, community leader, author of the month, or artist of the month. Visit www.egoentertainmentnet.com to apply today.
Track Island Beat by Arulo.
Did you know JQLM Radio provides media services like voiceovers, radio advertising, video flyers, and other audio and video services? Contact JQLM Radio today for your brand promotional needs at 317-886-0296 or email jqlmradio@gmail.com. JQLM Radio, real voices, raw entertainment, and relevant topics.
Track What You Did by CXNST on SoundCloud.com/officiallowpass. Music promoted by freestockmusic.com.
Have you subscribed yet to the free bi-monthly digital interactive Ego magazine? No? Well, head on over to www.egoentertainmentnet.com to subscribe now. This magazine is all about supporting and showcasing excellence in communities everywhere, from music, arts and culture, relationships, education, politics, celebrities, food, and so much more. While you're flipping through the pages, just click on the buttons and social icons and you'll be taken to a whole other world behind the articles and ads. At Ego Entertainment, everyone is a star. There is something in it for everyone. And we hope you are positively impacted by what you see and will continue to support Ego Magazine.
Track CBPD by Arulo.
Join the JQLM radio family today. Syndicate your show or come host and produce your own show on air, live, or pre-recorded from anywhere in the world. That's not all. JQLM Radio also distributes your episodes to all major podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and more. Come join this full service and support platform. Get help with sponsorships, built from our current listeners from all over the world in 45 countries and growing. Gain access to promotional materials and let JQLM Radio promote you too. And be a part of our live media coverage team that covers events and hosts red carpet activities with celebrities and more. For more information or to join now, visit www.egoentertainmentnet.com or email us at jqlmradio@gmail.com. JQLM Radio, real voices, raw entertainment, and relevant topics.
Track Funk.
DP DeMarco Plays presents Philadelphia, the stage production worldwide virtual screening event from Dallas, Texas. It's coming to a screen near you on Saturday, January 30th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Featuring celebrity actors Marcus Polk, K-Ron Joseph Riley, Pooch Hall, Willie Taylor, and actress Claudia Jordan. There are sponsorship opportunities available for you. From major corporations to small business owners or even a business collab sponsorship. Sponsorship opportunities include presenting sponsor, red carpet sponsor, celebrity meet and greet sponsor, commercial spots, and product placement. For more information and to secure your sponsorship, contact DeMarco Plays at info@demarcoplays.com. That's info@DeMarcoplays.com. Or Ego Entertainment at info.egoentnet@gmail.com. That's info.egoentnet@gmail.com. Hurry! Spots are limited. You must secure your sponsorship by December 15th, 2020. Philadelphia, the stage production virtual screening event. Track CBPD by Arulo on Mixkit.com.
Hey, y'all, and we are back. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far. I hope you guys have taken into account all of the different things that we're talking about on here and taking in the information so that way we can be better about how we are interacting in our relationships, not just male-female relationships, just our relationships in general. I think it's important for us to take that into account. I think it's important for us to pay attention to those that we interact with on a consistent basis and to keep moving in that direction. So I'm going to recap a little bit. So we've been discussing that they say a man ain't supposed to cry. So masculinity, all of that good stuff, and talking about how we can be better for our Black men in general, our sons, our nephews, and all of that good stuff. but also kind of just asking the guys questions that seem like solid questions that we really need answers to, because we don't want to be out here operating in out of order when we really should be working to be better about each other and operating more in order. And during the first part, I played a clip from Jay-Z's 444 to Short. So this is part 2. I'm going to play part 2 so you guys can see this part. And then we're going to tap back into it, because this part gives a little more information on some other aspects of male thoughts when it comes to emotions and things like that. So stay tuned.
I do think like the relationship between black men and black women is complicated by all these other things, things that, just trying to talk about a little bit, like complicated by a black man's historical inability to protect it. Complicated by black men's seeming unwillingness to be able to commit to raising their families.
I hear that I'm self-absorbed, that I think it's always about me. I'm selfish, controlling, all of the shit that we all hear, man. I mean, yeah, fuck.
This thing is constantly teaching me. I mean, in Islam, they say you don't know who you are until you get married. A man does not know himself, because you being inside of that is going to reveal things that you didn't even know were in you.
Things change in terms of what we find attractive. And so the thing as we get older, and again, that definitely speaks to you being a particular type of man. Because there's some 55-year-old men who I deem more of a boy, who are still in a nightclub tonight, and you know as well as I that they ain't really trying to holler at anything that's challenging. They're still trying to frolic with young girls that only excite one part of themselves. And I think, we learn the older we get, if again you're a particular type of man, that the most sexy thing about a woman is the one that actually leaves you thinking, that drives you to be more, and that you kind of have to look in the mirror every morning when you brush your teeth and you go, I ain't really on my A game, I ain't where I need to be. I mean, that's it. That's the hottest thing in the world.
One of my biggest fears is end up being alone, not having what my mom and dad have, because the times are so different, and my circumstances, I don't want to work less, so the more I work, the more, seen or known you are. It's like the more you're sought after, and, the less, genuine people that you kind of run across.
The idea of being 100% honest to me is terrifying, not just because of what I have to be honest about, but the scarier part is what I might have to hear.
It's some shit you don't want to know. It's some shit you don't want to know about your partner.
And when you hide stuff and you're not as honest and you don't communicate as much, you end up building this little demon inside, and then the demon just fucks everything up.
I think in relationships you're bound to fuck up. I think it's not a relationship unless you fuck up.
Seeing the pain that I've caused my wife, seeing the pain that I caused my children and my immediate family by my selfishness, by me wanting to be right, by me wanting what I want, when it was just an unnecessary want and a primal urge and shit.
I remember praying one day and asked God to just show me all my dirt. And I swear to you, he played like a highlight reel of stuff I never even thought of again. But by the time that happened, she was already gone, which a lot of times we don't know that, man. We don't know that women be broken up with you and left you, and which kind of makes me mad too, because I'm like, would you just leave me when I fucked up? So you gonna wait till I get it together, figure it out, and now you gone?
I was in a relationship for 13 years. 13 real years, like not 5 years, not 7 years, 13 years, and all of a sudden motherfuckers are writing like think pieces that I somehow threw a 13-year relationship, like the most painful experience I've had in my life, like with a person I've loved with all of my heart, that I threw a person and my family in the trash because a girl I worked with was cute.
I was on a boat, and I had the best time. And I was like, man, this is great. And then she had to leave, and I was like crushed. And I was like, man, I don't even feel like this. Like, what? what is happening to my body right now? And I was just like, don't go. And I was like, did I just say, all this is new for me. Like, don't leave.
It's ill that you can have a relationship where they put it back together, right? But for me, the illest part is the third verse. Because no matter what, if we talk about man-woman relationship, the really, really illest part of it is that if my children knew. As somebody that has children, trying to hide the arguments, that don't get too loud, stop yelling too much, they're going to hear us. If my children will lie, it's for anybody that got kids and arguing in the house while the kids is there, or let alone you fuck up, you gotta halfway explain to the kid why this whole separation is happening.
And if my children know, I don't even know what I would do.
Did you let your wife hear that early?
Yeah.
And was it like a special, like a moment, like, did you like preface it, or did you just like, listen, like, I'm gonna play something for you?
No, yeah, we just played it. We've been in that space where we got to a place where we like, in order for this to work, we gotta really just can't be fake. Not 1 ounce. I'm not saying it wasn't uncomfortable, because obviously it was, but because we've been doing it for so long, it was less uncomfortable,
So, let me tell y'all how many times I have watched this. I have watched that full thing for I've watched it 5 or 6 times just today. It's 10 minutes. It's almost 11 minutes long. And I've watched that at least 5 or 6 times today, taking notes from what they said, paying attention to what was said, how they said it, why they said, and just kind of paying attention to the scenarios that they brought up. One of my favorites was when Jay-Z was she was leaving, and he was having such a good time with her that he was don't go, that he was crushed that she was leaving. I thought that was cute as hell, because a lot of times men will feel that but won't say that. They'd be like, damn, I don't really want you to go, or I don't really want you to leave, I want you to stay, or those kind of things. So I think that kind of vulnerability is really dope. But the other thing that I noticed was that Jesse Williams saying that people were writing full think pieces on what happened in his relationship because they thought he messed up his whole family because a girl he worked with was cute. And I was like, damn, people were literally out here writing full-blown articles and everything based off of what they thought about what happened with Jesse and his wife. And so it was just it's a lot there in that 11-minute clip. It's a lot there to break down, to pay attention to take in. And I feel like I'm going to keep watching it because it's so many things there to take in and to receive. So what did you guys think?
As far as the Jay-Z part or whatever, that just show you his whole mindset switched up. You know what I mean? Like he Hova. You know what I'm saying? He been Hova for a long time. And he I can body bag any motherfucking chick or whatever whenever I fucking feel like it. But then when he actually felt something for one of them, his body switched up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know he was even capable of having that kind of feeling. That's what that is, And then as far as the Jesse Williams or whatever, cancel culture is real as fuck out here, man. Cancel culture is real. Everybody gonna try and ruin everybody. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like stuff like that. You shouldn't have to explain yourself to people. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all looking in from the outside, y'all only know the shit that y'all making up. Y'all don't know what's real up in my crib. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. I think the truest point to what Trosh just said was, you know how they say, you see the meme that says a woman can't change a man, that a man is going to have to want to change himself. And that is what I saw from the whole Jay-Z point. To Trosh's point, he could have anybody at any time. But it wasn't until that right one came about that he was willing, okay, now it's time to get vulnerable. Now it's time to grow up and do something different. So to me, that just solidified this whole, I can't make a man a man. I can't make him see that I'm the one. He has to see that I'm the one, period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like his body had evolved. At that point, his body had just turned into a different body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he got introduced to something that his body had never got introduced to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that motherfucker was a transformer.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, oh, you babe. Oh. He probably like had a whole full out of body experience when it came to that because it was like different.
Mark, like the vibe was so real, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I think that's how you know, like when they make you feel a way that you've never felt before. You know, shit like that, I think. You know. But I ain't gonna be able to tell you. So
I mean, it gave me so much hope for men too. Like that was so much hope because Black men are really out here healing. Everybody ain't out here trying to just be toxic. Like there are men who are really out here growing and trying to fix generational curses. Like I love it. Like my heart is like, oh, yay.
Right. And I think that's part of why I keep watching it because it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And the craziest part, I feel like the craziest part about that whole thing is like, it's a lot of dudes out here that are vulnerable. You know, it's just take the right situation for them to express that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you are a street nigga out here, you clap motherfuckers every day. Something makes you vulnerable. You go home and you think about some stuff by yourself. You keep it to yourself though. You ain't got the right setup to be bringing that shit out in public.
And that goes back to what we was just talking about prior to the commercial break. Like it's got for example, I was on the phone with one of my clients yesterday, and you know, one of my partners, but he's also a client. So we took care of the business, then we started having a conversation. And talking about a young lady that he's dealing with, and I was asking him like, well, what's stopping you from moving forward? Because from what it sounds like you ready to bust a move. And the first thing he said was, gee, can I be honest with you? I'm scared. Like, why? I mean, I'm a man and I've been in situations before, so I know where he's going to. I know where this is headed to. But I asked him, like, because I wanted him to, you know, continue to open up, because I don't want to be the typical homeboy, like, yeah, man, fuck that shit, man, because such and such. No. Let's keep it a buck. Why are you scared? Like, what scares you? And the man said, and he's older than I am. The man said, I'm scared to get hurt. And then I had the opportunity to have an honest moment with him. Like, nah, motherfucker, you've been hurting chicks for the longest. That's not fair. You know, just keeping it real. I mean, just keeping it real. I don't like teeter anymore. I used to be that guy, like, you know, that guy. But now I'm like, I have to be fair for a couple reasons. Mainly one, because of, you know, what I do for a living. So I have to be fair, open, and honest. So I had that conversation with him, like, now you see how they feel. So therefore, you have no choice but to take that chance if you really feeling who this woman is. And then we had the conversation about how, yeah, I don't want to show that I'm weak. I don't want to make the first move because I don't want her to try to play me. And that comes full circle back to the conversation we're having now. Like, you have to deem yourself vulnerable at some point in time in your adult life in order to get what it is, even if it's heartbreak. I've told plenty of people, like, if you get your heart broken, it's not being ripped out your body, because you never lose. You either win or you learn.
Period. Say it again.
It's crazy, bro, because like as us being dudes, us getting our heart broke hurt worse than this shit getting ripped out your body.
Worse, blood. What? That's suicide, Jack.
Hey, on the real. Like, you
way worse.
On my body first. Hey,
y'all are
physically pain me.
Y'all get your heart broke. Y'all like.
If they catch a cold, they babies. It's like.
Look, when we get our heart broke, we go on tour. You feel me?
Man.
Whole season.
We go on tour.
It's fucked up.
Listen, y'all go on tour longer than Michael Jackson's career sometimes. You know.
Well, it depends on the venues. You feel me?
what he said.
Yeah.
But Tony, what do you think? You've been kind of quiet tonight. I know you've been over there writing and stuff, but what do you think, like, as far as the topic?
I just think it literally, like, the whole idea of, you know, men being vulnerable and emotional, I don't even want to say it's hardwired in them, because if we take it all the way back to, you know, warriors and gladiators and things like that, like, you weren't crying in battle. And most of the boys grew up and they went straight to the battlefield. And so they never really got the chance to be emotional. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, a lot of our ancestors have stemmed from that. And so maybe it's hardwired in our DNA that that's, I guess, not okay. Or men can't really be as emotional as we would like them to be. I don't know. It's difficult because we can't fault them. Even as grown people, we can't fault them for not being able to open up, because a lot of times we don't give them the spaces to open up. There's lots of workshops out there for women. Maybe I've seen one for men, but there you very rarely see workshops for men that focuses on healing. And so maybe if people can start creating these safe spaces, these workshops, then we can start fostering a better relationship with guys being able to open up and teaching them to open up. And then also it starts at home too. We got to stop that whole boys don't cry. Yeah. Like, it stems at home, because I remember when my son was first born, when he was around 5, I started doing that. Like, because I've seen it done before. And so it's like, oh, maybe this is what, you know, how you raise boys. But I caught myself. And I told myself, like, this is not okay. It's okay for him to cry. And then from there, you just teach them the proper way to handle their emotions by communication.
Yeah, I had a conversation. I had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today, and we were talking about how a lot of times men in society, we get both ends of the spectrum now. We get men that are super over masculine, super macho men, or we get the man that's like really very emotional, like not in tune with his emotion, but emotional. Like, there's no reasoning, there's no nothing. Like, he goes off the deep end and everybody, everybody going down. Like, he getting ready to take everybody out simply because, like, he's upset. Yeah. So we now have a culture of younger men who, instead of paying attention or taking a step back to reevaluate a situation, they're shooting, they're killing, they're fighting, all those kind of things. Yep. But then on the other side, it's like a man he's not gonna do nothing. He's not gonna say nothing. He gonna be Superman. He gonna be macho man. He gonna be all of those things. And so how do we help to find that balance in the middle when taking into account a lot of the men or boys that are growing or that we've encountered have been raised by single women? How do we combat that? How do we teach them balance? Like, I have nephews. I don't have children, but I have nephews. And so I always try to like love on them and hug on them and all those kind of things. But from time to time, my brother would be like, don't be doing all that with him. But it's funny. It's like, boy, shut up. This is my nephew. I can hug on him too. So how do we teach boys the balance? How do we give them that middle? How do we help them to understand, like, it's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to be angry and out here hurting people or causing, all of this chaos in other people's lives. You can be angry, but in the midst of your anger, you need to figure out how to deal with that.
Right.
I think once young men get a little older, it's a little harder. I think if we start when they are young boys, and I don't know how old your nephews are, Leo, but I think that balance comes with, having conversations with kids and understanding that kids are people. Kids understand a lot more than we think they understand. And if kids are expressing their emotions, whether they're crying a little bit too much, or they are being a little too feminine, or they are so angry that now they want to tear all the stuff off the wall and throw stuff and everything, don't beat them. You need to have a conversation with them and discuss those feelings. Okay, you're angry. I understand you're angry. Why are you angry? Let's talk through this. Let's work through this. And this is how we're going to deal with this anger and tunnel this anger into what it needs to be tunneled to. Because like you said, you can't go flying off the deep end. But at the same time, I'm going to let you cry if you fall down and hurt yourself, but you're not going to cry for 3 hours because you fell down and hurt yourself. So let's talk about this to bring this back. So I think just being able to talk to kids as opposed to yelling at them, cussing at them, and just telling them what they're doing is wrong. Because at that point, they don't understand. They just know we're yelling and fussing and screaming and hollering or whatever, and they don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it. They don't know how to process those emotions. We have to help them process those emotions. Teenagers, you can probably work with teenagers. Now, when we talk about young men in their early 20s and then grown men, yeah, that's something on a whole nother level. We need to refer them out to a professional, and they need to do some inner healing, get in touch with their spirit guides and their chakras and all that good stuff, and work on that themselves, because we ain't gonna fix that. They're gonna have to fix that themselves. But starting at a young age, I just think we got to talk through it, and we got to work through it and not brush it off, not punish them for their reacting to their emotions, but not brush it off either, and actually deal with it in that moment while they're going through the emotions. Deal with it then, so that it's dealt with and it's not just left to linger and they don't know what to do with it.
For me, I have 2 boys, right? So I have a 12-year-old Aquarius, Moan, and I have an 11-year-old Cancer. Now, when we talk about emotions, I have my Aquarius son who, what are you thinking? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. Like, that's everything. To my Cancer, who is, Mommy, today I'm feeling really sad because I just don't really, could you hold me? Like, it's like 2 different spectrums. But my 12-year-old, I put him, like, he had to go to therapy. Like, I had to put him in therapy because in the back of my mind, I'm like, if he doesn't get this shit, he is going to be so toxic to whatever woman that shows up, just because he does not know how to communicate. He doesn't know how to, like, express himself. And that terrifies me. Like, it really, really does. So I put him in therapy, and he was like, I don't need to do this. I could just talk to you about my problems, Mom. And I had to say to him, son, I don't have all the answers. Like, I don't know what it is to be raising a man. Like, I don't. So it's like such a fine balance. It's such a fucking balance. Every day I get up is something new, but help me, somebody, please.
So please. Like, in the communication class that I facilitate and teach, the main point that we try to get across, that I have been taught and paid over $30,000 for, but that's neither here nor there. But the main point is, the whole objective is, because we can't change people, people have to change themselves. And the main point is, we want to raise people's awareness to their own thoughts and core beliefs without attacking their self-worth. If we can raise their awareness without attacking their self-worth, once they are aware of some of those things, and through effective communication can get some of those balls rolling. And we have a bunch of techniques to do that. But that's the main point, because, like you said, even with the 12-year-old. It's the 12-year-old, right? That he's like, yep, I don't know, don't care, don't matter.
Right.
Whatever. Like,
but he's also my truther. Like, he'll be the one that tells me some shit about myself that has me like, oh, goddamn. You're like, so even in the video, they talked about how it's one thing to be able to speak your truth, but it's another to be able to hear your truth. And I'm learning that my son is so not emotional because he sees that emotions hurt you. And so my brain is like, well, who taught you that? He said, I've watched you. And that was such a like, whoo,
ding, 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 ding.
So it was a reminder that, okay, Bree, you still got some work because your children have grown with you. Parenting doesn't mean we have the fucking answer. It means now we have somebody who's an observer of how to cope with shit. And I had to be honest that there's some ways that I've coped with shit that are not healthy or have not been healthy to my children. And now how do I get them the help that they need? So another woman is not struggling with what I've shown them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even as an independent.
Great awareness. Yeah. Great awareness.
Yeah. What's interesting?
And I definitely agree with you in saying, like, sometimes the people that show you your truth, you be like, first of all, get out my business, okay? Like, back up a little bit. And so, I think the people that are in my life that do or that are willing to give you the truth about who you are or about the way you handle certain situations are people that really give a fuck about you, because if they don't give you your truth, or if they're just allowing you to be who you are and continuing to operate how you're operating, do they really give a fuck about you and your well-being? They don't. I feel like they don't. They could not possibly give a fuck about you and your well-being if they're allowing you to continue down this road of toxicity and like putting yourself in these situations that aren't beneficial for you at all. So you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's the place that I'm in right now. Like, I'm in a place with being comfortable, being uncomfortable. I have done so many things within this last year that have had me uncomfortable. It has been unreal. So we have to be fully comfortable in being uncomfortable, having uncomfortable conversations, doing things that are uncomfortable, hearing things that are uncomfortable, but then taking what we are hearing and learning and processing it, and then moving forward from there, so that we can be a better person for whatever the situation may come.
That's true growth.
So,
that's true growth.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for, like, and I say it all the time, like, I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful that I can have a conversation with Mom or have a conversation with Trosh about different things that are taking place in my life, or even calling my brother, because previously, like, we hadn't had these type of adult conversations, because my brothers were like, I ain't talking to y'all about that. They're like, y'all like my father figures, like my dad gone, y'all my father figures. I'm not talking to y'all about that. But even now, having conversations with them as the men in my life is different. Hearing them talk about situations in their life and seeing their growth as men in a lot of ways, even when they've dealt with a lot of loss just as much as I have, and all of the things that they've encountered as men, it's a beautiful sight to see the growth in the men in my life. So even like Mom, like seeing your growth and seeing the changes that you've made and all that kind of stuff, like those are the things that make me proud to be connected to the men in my life, because I've seen a lot of them grow and I've seen a lot of the changes, which is why I felt like it was important to have this topic or to touch on this subject, because we have a lot of the men in our lives that are not growing. A lot of us have men in our lives that aren't willing to change or willing to do the work because they're afraid of what they will see. Like the guy in the clip said, 100% honesty scares me. He said, like, it scares me, not because of what I'm having to give, but what I may have to learn as well. And then Will Smith turned right around and said, it's just some things you don't want to know about your partner. And I thought that was hilarious because all of the shit that they had to go through, him and Jada. And so I thought that was hilarious.
This 85 times today. You know, the clips in order and everything.
Oh, the real.
Listen,
I was just like, damn, Will Smith was on there? I ain't even.
When I dive into something that really like taps into like my understanding of the people that I deal with regularly, I'm always connected or communicating with men, Black men especially, you know. So if I am constantly in connection with them, and those are who in my life, though, my nephews, all of that kind of stuff, I feel like it's my duty as a Black woman to better understand or to be a space for you all to feel comfortable, or for you all to gain an understanding of, you know, how to treat us or how to be better with us, or just for a place for you to have some solace from the world. And I think, Tony, you said it yesterday that your ex used to tell you all the time, like, I fight battles in the world every day, and I don't want to come home and have to fight that battle with you. Didn't you say that? Yeah. So
yes,
that was one of the things. That was one of the things that I used to tell my ex. Like, listen, I know what you deal with every day. Every day in the world, you go out here and you tackle the world, you tackle police, you tackle your job, all of that. When you come home, leave that shit outside. Don't bring that in here. Don't bring that in here. And I tell people that now. Don't bring that in here. Leave that outside. When you come in here, this should be your safe space. This should be your place where you can feel free to relax and let go. So, that's why I know the clips in order, because I literally watched it like 6 times today. And when I first saw the clip, I watched it like 5 times then, because it was just so intriguing to see the vulnerability of those Black men in those clips. And that's not something that we see very often. We don't see the vulnerability on display in that way. So I was like really intrigued. LaRon said he has 15-year-old boys and they are different as night and day. The oldest is more vocal and the youngest is like, it's whatever. And then it's believed that men are supposed to feel pain, that men aren't supposed to feel pain, that we should hide it. And that's kind of what we've been tapping on. Like, you should feel pain, or you shouldn't have pain inflicted on you. But if you are feeling pain, then it should be addressed. Like, you should have those spaces to where you can discuss your pain or let it go and that kind of thing. So, and
that's crazy because that aren't supposed to feel pain comment, that go all the way back to fucking Stone Age. You know what I'm saying? Caveman out here fighting the whole woolly mammoths and not crying. And I don't even think the niggas had tears back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, like crying didn't even exist back then. Like,
they didn't develop.
You go to somebody else said, like knights going to the field to fight battles and getting stabbed with swords, and they just die honorably without shedding a tear, nothing. I'm like, man, it's crazy, yo. I mean, it's been forever like that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like as our duty is being on this type of platform, it's our duty to inform or to be informed about ways that we can be better overall. Not just be on here talking about humping and stuff like that, but it's our duty to fully be informed and to give useful information, because we are doing a service.
For sure, though.
Was somebody saying something?
For sure, though. And that's why I like our platform, that what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the way our team built, there's no topic that we can't touch on. Like the way the team built is no topic we can't touch on. Period. I don't care what you want to talk about. We get the team for it.
Very true.
I think the key is that at any time you can choose something different. So, like, even in us talking about this in January, just like we said, this goes all the way back to Stone Age. It's understanding, like the other day I told someone, either every day you wake up, you're either choosing trauma or healing. I have just made up in my mind that I am choosing to heal. Like every day we're all faced with that choice. So I think that everybody who's listening is so key to know that even if you've been doing this shit, you're this way for 37 years, at any time I can change my mind and say I choose to give me something different, because that's where your growth comes from. Like, you know,
you got choices. You have a choice. And that's the truth. And every day and everything that you do, you got a choice. You can say, no, I'm good. Like you said, like, I choose to make sure that therapy is a part of my everyday living. Because, and listen, I don't remember any other day of the week, but I remember Thursday. Thursday is up there on point. Like, hey, girl. Hey. Any other day, I'll probably be like, what's today? What time is it? You know? But on Thursday, for some reason, my body know when it's Thursday. I'll be like, wait, we got therapy today. Let's log in, you know. But I do think we need to encourage more Black men to seek therapy. Therapy is therapeutic, it's beneficial, and the outcome of therapy is that you could talk to somebody and really get all of this shit off your chest, and then you can go deal with the world after you get all that shit off your chest in therapy. Listen, my therapist did learn some things about me, and she be like, okay, so
be like, you lucky this is a patient reality up in this bar. I'll turn your ass here right now, mom.
But like, she's literally learning, like, she learns a lot about me, because a lot of times, one thing about me is that I do not like not being heard. Like, that's one of my biggest things that I battle with, or I struggle with. And so me being a woman and knowing that that's part of my struggle, like, if I'm not heard, listen, no, we're gonna have a problem, we're gonna have an issue, because that's something, you know, that I grew up with, that, you know, children ain't supposed to say what they feel or what they thinking. And so when you in this space as an adult, now I'm an adult now, you gonna hear me. And when I'm not heard, I'm triggered. And when I'm not, you know, so I can only fathom what a man would feel if he's dealing with all of this and he's carrying all of that and he's not heard. It's like, damn, I know how I be feeling.
Right.
And so when I feel that way,
Tony had made a point that creating spaces for Black men to heal, and it made me think about one day I was listening to Steve Harvey, and there was someone on there, and their organization was called Black Men Heal. And they created a space to where you could get free therapy, and they set you up with another Black man. It's a bunch of amazing stuff. So I went online just to make sure that I had that correct. And the first quote that comes on their page says, "I am no less a man because I fear. I am no less a man because of mental health struggles. I am no less a man because I'm no less a man because only I get to decide what it means for me to be a man." So I thought that was dope. So just as a resource, again, I don't know much about it, but I do remember hearing on the radio that was their goal, was to be able to partner Black men with other Black men that fit their needs of what they need to do. And I believe it's all online, and it's some great stuff. So there is spaces out here for those who are really looking for something different.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
And like when we did our mental health awareness show, like we gave some resources and things like that. And so I'll go back and pull those resources back up and post them on the page as well, because there are resources as far as therapy, but when it comes to like safe spaces or places where Black men can feel free outside of the barbershop, you know, there aren't many. So we definitely want to make sure that we create those spaces for Black men to not only be free in themselves, but to be free to learn and understand themselves, and be free to express themselves so that others can learn and understand them better as well. We have to give our Black men those spaces, because if they don't have them, they can never be fully emotionally available to us. They can never be vulnerable with us. They can never be open with us or honest with us in the way that we need them to be with us. or we aren't capable of being the same way with them if they aren't emotionally available to us. So we gotta close this divide between Black men and Black women, because the wider the gap, the more we are going to see a lot of the struggles and troubles that will happen when our communication isn't what it needs to be and what it should be at this point. So at this point, I want this platform to be one of those spaces where we try our best to close the gap. I want us to talk about the topics that are important for us as Black men and Black women, because if we do not have those spaces, or we don't open up the opportunities for the conversations to be had, we will constantly be on social media going back and forth about what it's meant to be a good man, what it's meant to be a good woman. Like, and I feel like all of that shit drives me up a wall, okay? Like, just have a conversation. Understand each other. Like, stop playing into your own bullshit or your lack of understanding and listen.
Right.
So, we didn't win almost the whole show, and you know, like, but one thing I was going to let our audience know, that if you guys would like to continue the conversation, that we will be doing a show after the show. So once like 10 o'clock hits, we're gonna close out for the radio station, but then you all can stay right here and we'll finish the conversation and have a little more input, and we can be a little more open and free when we're not on the radio, so we can have a little more conversation here. And we'll stay right here. We'll keep it rolling after 10 o'clock. We're gonna let Miss Tony do her segment, and you know, if our squad wants to stay on, you guys can stay, but if not, you know, we just gonna let people, you know, say what they need to say and keep it rolling. If nobody joins, then we'll cut it off, but we definitely want you guys to know that we are here for the conversation, and we are allowing the space and, you know, for the conversation to be had. But Miss Tony, she gonna give us our homebodies information and stuff so we can get it right. We can get started on our right path in January, okay?
Heck yeah. All right. So today, since we were speaking about kind of along the lines of mental health and emotional health, that's going to be my nutrition tip for today. So I don't think a lot of people, I think when we eat food, we just eat to, one, you know, make ourselves feel good, and to satisfy our hunger. But we don't take into account that the food choices that we choose affects us more on a cellular level than anything else. And so with that being said, the types of foods that we choose affects our brain. Someone had put a post up earlier today about, do we really have seasonal depression? Do we really have depression? Like, you know, is it really as, you know, kind of bad as we're making it? Understood. Yes, depression and seasonal depression are bad. They are very real things, but we exacerbate those conditions by the food choices we make. Diets that are high in processed foods, sugary foods, refined foods, they lower our body's cellular activities, which means, you know, our bodies are more susceptible to inflammation. It lowers our serotonin levels. It lowers, our brain's ability to regenerate. And so taking out those foods, you notice, if you've ever like done, you know, a raw diet or a detox or anything like that, how much better your mood increases, your sleep, your skin, everything. It matters. Like I hate when people say, oh, you know, eating healthy is expensive. Yeah, it's expensive sometimes, but Would you rather it be expensive and your body feel good and your brain feels good, your mood increases, you're no longer stuck in this emotional downpour because of the foods that you eat? Or would you rather keep feeding it terrible food and keep feeling terrible? You're not supposed to be sleepy after you eat. You're not. Food is fuel. You are supposed to be energized after you eat. And especially with our organs working 24/7 around the clock, a lot of the times we wake up sluggish because we're eating way too late and we're eating way too heavy and way too processed meals. You're waking up with headaches, or, you just have this horrible feeling about yourself. And even Thanksgiving, that's a prime example of a mood change after you eat. You get sleepy. You sometimes get irritable. That's not supposed to happen. So I challenge everyone to take a day and just add 2 cups of vegetables to your next meal. Add a cup of fruit in the morning. And before you even add food to your day, drink a full glass of water. That will change your entire, just watch how your entire day, your entire mood start to change. Do that for a week. Start with a couple days, then move to a week, then move to a month, and just start by adding little by little. Start with a cup of fruit, oatmeal, yogurt, more vegetables, more water. Start with that little by little and watch how everything in your life changes. That's my tip for today.
That's a great tip.
Basically, what I like is don't order this catfish nuggets that I was going to.
And I probably shouldn't go eat my steak that I'm going to eat after the
Probably not be steak. That might be a little too heavy at 10 o'clock.
Hey, I'm over here like, so itis is a bad thing?
Oh, wait, Marcel said, oh, you're not going to say nothing bad about Thanksgiving. That's where I draw. That's funny.
There's definitely ways to enjoy foods, especially soul food, without all the extra fat and oil and salt. And it's a very real way and real possible way of enjoying all of that without the extra badness for you.
Tanita Taylor said, what's the true benefit of a high alkaline diet?
See, that I don't know much about. I don't really go with restrictive diets because we're human. And
it's been thrown.
You got lost.
Okay.
Marcel kicked her off. He's like, I'm sick of this. None of that.
Nope.
He done hacked our show.
LaRon said he's still gonna eat this half slab of ribs. Listen, because I'm legit, usually towards the end of the show, if I haven't cooked all day or nothing, I'm literally on my phone, okay, what I'm about to eat. And I literally just said, I'm gonna give me some catfish nuggets. So now I'm up here
I know, she done made us feel all guilty and stuff.
I'm like,
I don't feel guilty.
I'm like, but they don't serve salads this late at night. And I ain't been to the grocery store, but I'm hungry. So,
I'm with brother. It's crazy because that type of stuff don't like he said, I don't feel guilty or whatever. I'm the type of dude that watch Food Inc. And you see how they raise the chickens, I still be like, hey man, where's this chicken after this? You know, somebody I eat chicken while I'm watching Food Inc. talking about how they abuse the chickens. And, look, stop this.
I was sitting here damn, scrolling but they don't serve salad at 9:00 at night, or there's literally nowhere with healthy food after 9:00, and I'm like, maybe I should.
This is a very true statement. This is a very true statement. I wish there were some healthier options late at night, maybe that's a good business for somebody. So hey, if you're out there and you eat healthy, start a food truck for healthy foods.
Or you could just cook.
Like meal prep. Find a place that meal prep.
That definitely too.
Truck. They're there till 3-4 in the morning.
After the club, go get a salad. That'd be nice. Right. But no, yeah, I don't follow restrictive diets because, like I said, we're human. We love the foods that we love, and if we restrict ourselves, we're punishing ourselves. And a lot of these restrictive diets aren't for everybody, and that's
probably the truth.
That's always been like a trigger of mine. Like, nothing is for everybody. Our bodies are different. Our DNA is different. So we're going to respond to different things. Mm-hmm. And veganism, plant-based, that's not for everybody. I don't care what anybody says. We all can't be vegans. Our bodies just weren't designed like that. Yes. Is it good? Yes. But there are certain people who can't have a strictly, vegan diet. Just like there's a lot of people who can't just, strictly eat a lot of protein or a lot of carbs. We're a variety of different people. So if clothes isn't one size fits all, our diet's not going to be one size fits all. So you have to find what works for you specifically. And I definitely recommend, I'll post in the group.
Damn it, Marcel.
She definitely said her internet is cutting up, so we
okay.
Keep it moving. She just said it. But I think it's a really, like what she said, like no diet is one size fits all, and I think that's important for people to know because people try to make those that aren't vegans they try to make you feel bad. Well, you should be a vegan. Well, when I don't eat meat, I have headaches for, long periods of time, and sometimes, like she said, that all of those kind of things don't work for people. I know if I decrease my amount of meat, it's a good thing. But when I was doing completely no meat at all, I was like trying to substitute like my other stuff, but I was still dealing with like the headaches and the withdrawal and stuff like that. So I definitely can understand what she's saying in regards to that. So this is why Tony is getting ready to become my my go-to person.
That definitely makes super sense though, because don't you know how like when people say stuff like, "Oh man, that didn't sit well with my body" or whatever, you know what I mean? That's when like, oh, all diets like ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to find out what your body respond best to, and do that.
Yep.
Like, cause
trial and error.
Even with working out, like I could do the same workout like Moan do, you know what I'm saying? But if my body not that tight, it's not gonna I'm gonna not see the progress.
We won't see the results.
You know Yep.
Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Question. What's your take on fasting?
I think it's important, especially not intermittent fasting, but the occasional giving your body a rest. I wouldn't recommend going no more than 3 days, but again, some people benefit from going more than 3 days. Some people don't, but it's definitely important. Just like complete like a liver detox and intestinal detox. Mm-hmm. I would definitely recommend at least once or twice a month, because you want to be able to reset your body and get everything cleared out. Because I don't think people realize within our intestinal wall, we don't get rid of everything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times there's just waste just sitting. And intestinal health is another reason why our moods go up and down, because serotonin is primarily made in your digestive tract, your gastrointestinal tract. And so that's why if you get stressed or something, your stomach starts hurting. It's that response. And so if your intestinal health is in good shape through a fast, a cleanse, then your body is on the right track. So I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Tanita just said, thank you so much. She tried a keto and her doctor took her off because it was making her sick and her anemia worse. Yeah, that's because a lot of people just get out here with these fad diets without being fully informed about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it's popular or because it's what everybody else is doing, that they just try it. So definitely try to get yourselves and speak with somebody that can assist you. I'm definitely not one of those people that's gonna get on a fad diet because it looks like it's working for everybody else. Because if you look at some of the stuff people eat on keto, it's like, no, I'm good. Like some people be eating a whole pound of bacon, talking about like I'm on a diet.
That's not good for you, period. Flat out, that's not good for you, period.
What kind of diet is this? Like where you eating a pound of bacon and you ain't
That's a
eating
stoner
no bread.
diet.
No bread. Oh, okay. So the bread is what's stopping you from like this. It don't make sense. Some of it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make logical sense to me. So you give up bread, but then you add like 3 cups of fat. Like I don't.
Bread is a bad carb.
Depends on what it's made of.
It's how it breaks down.
Yeah, but still, like you gonna give up bread and eat 2 packs of bacon? Make it make sense. Like how does that like add up to being a healthy diet or beneficial to your health overall? So I'd be like, no, make it make sense for me. So outside of that, thank you, Tony. They're gonna mount down in the comments. We did miss you. We missed you tonight, G. We missed you tonight.
He said eat beans and boo-boo diet.
Even in his absence,
I was right on
this crazy stuff.
Even in the comments.
That's why I was just shaking my head.
Everybody say I gotta make my presence felt. Period, man.
He tried to hop on earlier, but he's working, doing part of his other stuff tonight. So we missed you.
Oh,
he said that last time. Yeah.
So,
be safe, brother.
This show is not the same without your random comments.
He showed up though, boy.
So we appreciate you. We missed you tonight. We thank you for everybody tuning in and joining us on this conversation and being here, giving your input, your comments. Mon, we thank you for hopping on your night off, but to be here and to give us a little bit more insight from the male.
It's because you twist my arm, fam. You told me if I ain't hop on, you're gonna fire me in my mouth. G, quit playing. Y'all synced it. Miss Cat, you synced it. You saw it. Thank you.
I did not say you had to hop on. I was gonna.
I am not gonna confirm nor deny that.
I said
that means she saw it.
That means I'm not gonna confirm nor deny that.
When people say that, then
see, I hear what you're saying, Tiff. Y'all didn't hear what Tiff just said. I heard it.
That's what I said.
I don't recall.
So I said, get your fat ass on here before I make change.
See?
So that's what I said.
I'm scared still.
I appreciate you for hopping on here, giving your
input. It's all love. Y'all family.
Us. And church, we thank you for being vulnerable tonight. Because I know that wasn't something easy for you to do. So thank you for, stepping out of your comfort zone. This was what this show was about, was to step out of all of our comfort zones, because it made us women kind of see some things that we might need to work on, and then making the guys step outside of what they were what they might not have been used to sharing. So we appreciate all of that. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the after show. We get ready to we're going to close it out for the radio station, but then we're going to be right here. If you guys can stay, then stick around, and we're going to have a little more conversation, more free and open conversation with, our listeners and tuning in. And then, make sure you guys join us next week for our next show, because we're probably going to end up doing a part 2. Who knows? So
black men don't cheat.
Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and follow us on the Phat Girl Chronicles on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get those subscribers up. And we appreciate you all so much for being here and constantly tuning in with the Phat Girl Chronicles each and every week. And like I say every week, that I forgot to say last week, whatever you do for the rest of the night and the rest of the week, don't do it with your half-ass. Do it with your whole ass. And we are out. Stay tuned for the show after the show. All right?
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
It's been a long and winded road, not to this point, but here I am. And I won't stop until my soul can't take no more, until I drop in, that's my plan. But until then, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm working, I'm grinding. I'm shooting for the stars and my aim game is nice, so what I'm saying, it's enjoy the ride. This ain't no overstatement, oh we so overloaded. We on some legendary, oh yeah, we over nosy. We on that brink of greatness, so close I fucking taste it. Premature celebration, so let's get fucking wasted.